we don't have the flour, so we can't do the bakery, but we can use the farmers market and butcher shop in combo to give us a good food rating. And so we'll use that to feed the folks, and we'll just upgrade those farms. And in this one, in your research strategy, it's very important that you upgrade your farms and your mines. Particularly actually the farms early, but the mines as well, so that you can get plenty of marble, stone, and stone as you need it. And then, of course, upgrade the farm so that you can get plenty of flax, because you can see here we're actually starting to overproduce or produce even more of the clothing, because we want to maintain that 40 that we are exporting, because we're making a good profit on it, and it's about the only profit we got going. In fact, if you notice, we haven't even done anything with religion yet, again, because we've got no estates, we've got no talents. We've got to prepare for the patricians by getting additional clothing, so that we have enough clothing to support our patrician build, and we're going to have olive oil. And the only way we're going to be able to get olive oil, since we can't build insula, is to import it. So we're going to have to use this other pier down here to import olive oil, which will then give us olive oil. We're now producing more clothing than we're exporting, so we've got enough clothing to support us, and we just need to build a pier down here and get that olive oil import going, so that we can then build patricians and start staffing our religion. But you can't have, since we can't have the temple to Saturn staffed by an insula, it has to be patrician. And we don't want to do too many with the equites, because we have limited goods, because again, with no insula we can't produce goods other than using an artisan's market, which we'll talk about later. But because we have a lack of goods, we don't really want to go out and import them, particularly this early. What we're going to do here is staff all of our religious buildings with patricians, including the temple to Saturn, which of course that's the only option we have, since we can't do insula. And we could do equites for our other religion. There's another slip of the mouse. I didn't mean to put that there. It just kind of hand fell off the mouse, I guess, at the wrong time. But we'll move that back up where it belongs, in that nice little opening up there. And so we'll end up now we're importing our olive oil, and we're going out and searching to see if there's anything else out there that's a better trade route, because now we have the lighthouse, which is very important when you're doing sea trade, because it helps you get better deals, better places to go, better trade routes rather. So now we're just trying to place our temple to Saturn and the patrician house to staff it, and I'm just double checking to make sure it falls within that theater's range, so it gets that full 50% entertainment. And we see that we've got Jupiter, and Jupiter is very handy in these situations when you got a tight build like this, because we can put Jupiter in that little spot there where the other two, Mars and Vesta, wouldn't work. So we're just going to upgrade marble, because we're a little short on that, and go ahead and build Jupiter in that spot. And then we'll have, now you can see kind of, you got the theater, and then you've got to the right of the theater, you've got this whole middle class community with a couple of patricians who are manning the temples. So they're going to have good food from the butcher and the market, and they're going to have good religion from Saturn and Jupiter, and they've got good entertainment from the theater. So we've got that whole area there, just sort of a middle class equites area, and they are staffing our piers and our ports and our clothing shops basically, and also our food markets, and the prefecture there, and the lighthouse. So they're basically highly functional little area there, but easy to get that done, because we use that because we're driving off of the radius of the theater. So we'll just keep going with this, and keep building out this first community, build over to the left, kind of build more or less a lot of patrician houses and upper class. Now, remember, we're going to build a second community, so we fast forwarded a bit, and we've gone up here to the north, put down an outpost, and now we're building out a community. Again, we're going to use another theater. It's unusual for me. I usually don't use two theaters in the same map, but in this particular one, where I'm limited with my entertainment options, theaters just make sense. I'm also So I actually have the expansion pack here, but I'm trying to play this pretty much the way you would in the original, so that this walkthrough would help anybody, whether you're playing the expansion or the original. So I didn't do too much of it. The only thing I did some research that was in the expansion pack that you don't have access to. But now we're checking. Look, this is farther down the road, and we're at 9560 on that 10,000. So we're looking good here. We're about to get it. In fact, we're almost at that point. We're selling clothes in two different routes here. We're selling off our marble right now, because we're just trying to get that over that 10,000. As soon as we get over that 10,000, we'll quit selling the marble, because we're going to need that to finish off the mission by building our Circus Maximus. But we're just kind of adding a little more religion up here to this northern one to give those kind of northernmost houses a little higher religious rating, and that will kind of finish off the build up there. And then well, as I said, we'll double check, and there we go. We've got both our bonus objectives completed. We're going to be over 60 on all of our ratings, so we're looking good now. Now I'm just looking for what can we sell to take the place of the marble, because I'm going to need the marble to build out that last building, the Circus Maximus. And it looks like logs are probably our best bet here, but we're a little short. We don't have enough, so we're just going to upgrade a logging shed, give us our 30, and then we'll go off and find our marble trade and change that to 30 logs to Naxos, and that way our income goes down a little bit, but now it's freed up the marble. Now we still see we need 40 marble and 40 bricks, so we're going to find that marble mine and upgrade it. The last time, actually, it gives us exactly 40. Whoo, we've just got enough. So we've got enough marble to do our build, and we're a little short on bricks. So we want to build a brickworks, but now because we're selling all of our wood, we're a little short on wood. So we're going to find another logging shed and upgrade it actually a couple of times to give us enough wood to allow us to build one more brickworks. We build that one brickworks, and when that's finished, that will give us enough raw materials to build the Circus Maximus. And we'll check here in a second and see that the only thing missing now is money. We need the denarii, because again, we've been operating on a shoestring budget all the way through this. We've stretched our resources thin. We've stretched our money thin. We've spent every penny as it comes in, because we don't have great trade routes on this one. I mean, this is a challenging mission. This is one of the hardest ones in the whole in the original, for sure. This is one of the hardest missions, because you really do have to be creative and think through it. So we're just going to use the forum tax here, hit that a couple of times, get three grand each pop, and now we've got plenty of money to go out and do our Circus Maximus. And we look for a nice spot for it, and I'd say right there near the forum would be good. So we're going to just kind of integrate it into the city and put it in next to the forum. And when that's completed, we will be done, because we've got our trade, we've got our 30 houses, we've got 60% or better on all of our satisfactions, and we're well under the time limit. We still got 10 minutes to go on a time limit, and it'll only take about a minute or so more for that circus to build. So we're just kind of checking through everything, see how it came out. It looks like you can see it's two very distinct communities. I did take advantage. I had those 10 extra slaves, so I gave them a little extra entertainment up there to the north. So they're actually up in the about 80 mark for entertainment up there, and 50 down in the bigger community. And since it got some excess olive oil, decided to go ahead and build an artisans market. And this would be another way you could potentially you could play with an option where you import olive oil, create goods with your artisans markets, and export goods. That would be another way to make money. So now you can see the circus is finished. We're all done. I'm going to give you kind of an overview. We've got a big main community with the circus. We've got a second community taking advantage of all the ports, totally using up all our trade. Looks like a pretty nice city. And of course, with the expansion, we could build roads and connect them up and make them look a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you got something out of it.